How excited are you to start training camp tomorrow?
It's out of the roof. I'm working on my game. I'm really confident in myself right now, so I'm ready to go out there. Everything is paid off. All the work, all the late nights, all the early morning.
Bronny James simply hasn't looked like an NBA caliber player so far. And this isn't about a temporary slump or saying he just needs more time to develop. I'm talking strictly from a basketball standpoint, as if you removed the name on the back of his jersey. If he weren't carrying the James surname, this wouldn't even be a debate.
From day one, it's been a lie. Kid missed double-digit games at USC, averaged 5 points a game after cardiac arrest. In any other world, he would return to school for another year. But not in LeBron's world. He couldn't wait to fulfill his little dream of playing with his son in the NBA.
If not for his last name, nobody would be projecting him as a reliable rotation player. No one would already be labeling him a future core contributor. He also wouldn't receive the constant benefit of the doubt that seems to follow every discussion about him. The most optimistic evaluation would likely be that he's a prospect who still needs significant development. More realistically, he'd be battling just to keep a spot within the organization. If not for his last name, nobody would be projecting him as a reliable rotation player. No one would already be labeling him a future core contributor. He also wouldn't receive the constant benefit of the doubt that seems to follow every discussion about him. The most optimistic evaluation would likely be that he's a prospect who still needs significant development. More realistically, he'd be battling just to keep a spot within the organization. If not for his last name, nobody would be projecting him as a reliable rotation player. No one would already be labeling him a future core contributor. He also wouldn't receive the constant benefit of the doubt that seems to follow every discussion about him. The most optimistic evaluation would likely be that he's a prospect who still needs significant development. More realistically, he'd be battling just to keep a spot within the organization. If not for his last name, nobody would be projecting him as a reliable rotation player. No one would already be labeling him a future core contributor. He also wouldn't receive the constant benefit of the doubt that seems to follow every discussion about him. The most optimistic evaluation would likely be that he's a prospect who still needs significant development. More realistically, he'd be battling just to keep a spot within the organization.
Watch as he drives to the rim on two defenders, a 7-footer. They don't even look to hit the rope. This how I know Bronny played 2K. 6 seconds into the shot clock, Bronny putting on his construction worker hat.
So, here's the question that really matters. If you took away the last name and judged him solely on his basketball ability, what part of his game clearly proves he belongs in the NBA today?
Take this play for example. The ball here is going to get driven toward the left block, but as it gets picked up, Bronny on the opposite wing should relocate, create a passing angle. That would either lead to an open three or a closeout. But look at how he just stays shifted up. Makes it easier for this defender to stay in the passing lane. And the Lakers from here get no advantage from that paint touch. So in terms of off the ball, Bronny is not a real threat.
And before anyone takes this personally, this isn't coming from hate. It's based on what we've seen on the court. It's based on the film. It's based on consistent patterns, not isolated moments. Basketball isn't about hype or compelling storylines. It's not a league where legacy gets passed down automatically. At the end of the day, it's a results-driven business. Either you make a meaningful impact when you're on the floor or you don't.
No! Bronny, off a fake dribble handoff like this, I am always going under and meeting Grayson Allen on the other side. You go over like a dumbass and layup.
What really stands out to me is the inconsistency in the standard being applied. The NBA constantly promotes the idea that it's a league built on merit. We're always told that the best players naturally earn their place. The message is simple. You have to prove you deserve your opportunity. And whenever a player falls short, the explanations are always the same familiar talking points. He's inefficient, he's not the right fit, he struggles defensively, he doesn't contribute to winning, he doesn't make the team better. But when it comes to Bronny, suddenly those same standards seem to disappear. Somehow, despite everything, he's still treated as if he unquestionably belongs.
Oh, all right. So Bronny James is absolute ass again at basketball. Bronny, can we please sprint back here so our back is turned and our feet are set so that when we're in help, we're going to stunt at the ball, but we're going to be able to recover. Look at Bronny. walk, walk, walk. Now my feet are going towards the ball on the kick out. This is just shoot around. What the fuck were you?
Even when he's getting targeted on defense, missing rotations, losing track on switches, and being treated by opposing teams as someone they don't have to worry about. Then he goes out and shoots 1 for 12, yet the broadcast talks about it as if it were just another step in his development. The conversation immediately shifts to growth, confidence, and valuable learning experiences. Learning experiences? At the highest level of professional basketball? This is an A. Developmental showcase. This is the NBA. Every roster spot matters. There are players fighting every single day to keep their careers alive. There are families depending on those opportunities. Meanwhile, you've got someone out there forcing shots as if the basket is supposed to eventually reward him just for trying.
Truthfully, he's so easy to coach. He's got a great soul and just a great energy about him that I like being around him, and I'm.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And don't think I've forgotten what was being said, because I remember every bit of it. I remember the claims that Bronny could become part of the Lakers' regular rotation by his second season. A legitimate rotation piece. Not someone viewed as a developmental prospect or a long-term investment. A player expected to make an immediate impact. I remember all the media day stories too. The talk about putting in extra work all summer, the late nights, the early mornings, giving up Call of Duty, switching to a vegan diet, even joking that his dad turned off the Wi-Fi to keep him focused. It made for a compelling narrative about dedication and sacrifice. But then the first preseason game arrived and the performance didn't match the hype. When the game started counting, he finished just 1 for 12 from the field. One made shot in 12 attempts.
I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this.
At some point, the excuses have to end. In any serious level of basketball, consistently poor performances eventually have consequences. The NBA is supposed to be a league where production determines opportunity. Yet when it comes to Bronny James, many believe those standards suddenly become more flexible. The bigger concern is his overall game. As a guard, you're expected to make smart decisions, create opportunities for teammates, and control the offense. So far, those qualities haven't consistently shown up at an NBA level. The question isn't about his name or his family. It's simple. What part of his game clearly proves he belongs in a regular NBA rotation today? It's also fair to question the situation surrounding him. The Lakers have placed him under an enormous spotlight where every miss and every mistake becomes national conversation. Instead of helping his development, that attention may actually be making the process more difficult. Meanwhile, countless players are fighting for the same opportunity through the G League, overseas leagues, and training camps, knowing one bad performance could cost them their careers. That reality is what makes the debate around Bronny so controversial. This isn't about attacking him personally. By all accounts, he seems like a hardworking young player with a good attitude. The criticism is about the principle. The NBA is supposed to reward performance, not reputation. If the league wants to maintain its credibility, every player should be judged by the same basketball standard. At the end of the day, the debate comes down to one question. Is Bronny James earning his place through his play, or is the narrative surrounding him creating opportunities that other players wouldn't receive? That's the discussion basketball fans continue to have.